So guys, to wrap it up, the last vehicle that were in the leaks that we kinda should do a video of what to expect about it is gonna be the Mirage 2000D MRV, right? This vehicle was leaked with the other vehicles that we already talked about it a lot, and today we're gonna talk about what is it, the performance, the sensors, weapons, mainly the differences between the normal 2000D and this one, and of course how it would actually be to fly it. Okay, so what is it? Well, just like the Tornado GR4, it is an MLU package of the Mirage 2000D, right? So the MRV literally means MLU in French, right? A midlife upgrade. So basically it just means midlife renovations. It means that it is the objective of to basically modernize the existing Mirage 2000D to be able to serve until 2030, right? It will probably be the last Mirage 2000 we ever see added to the game, unless they add a different fun variant here and there, but it's the last, most modern one, right? And the performance status, it's basically the same as the Mirage 2000D that we have in the game, so you should expect it to fly in the same way. The sensors and avionics and stuff, it changes a bit, but not by much. It has new avionics inside the cockpit and stuff. It will still be a biplaced aircraft, right? So it has new avionics for both of them. But the main thing is that it has a new data link system that in the real life it could be very, very useful, but in the game it wouldn't be too much. And the second thing is that it uses the Talios pod, which is a way, way better pod than what we use in the Mirage 2000D right now. So better imaging systems, better thermals, everything with that, right? Better zoom, better everything. So that's the first difference. Way better sensor in the air-to-ground role. In the weapon systems is where it shines a little bit, just like the Tornado GR4 that we talked about. So the cannon pod still is there, but there is this new option that it is based off one of those Mirage F1's pods that basically have only one cannon, right? One DEFA that will be available for the Mirage 2000D, right? So now you will probably use that instead of the two cannon pylon that pod that it's used on the Mirage 2000D right now. This is another little difference, but it is pretty cool. Air-to-air uses the Mica instead of the Magic. I couldn't confirm if the Mica radar guided was used, but apparently no, I don't think so. 90% sure. Only the Mica IR. In the game right now, I really doubt that we will see the Mica IR, so it will probably still use the Magic 2 for now, but in the future, it will probably start to use the Mica IR. Of course, the Mica IR isn't in the game yet, right? Together with the next generation of IR missiles from the 90s, right? For air-to-ground is really basically on the basis of the Mirage 2000D, right? It's pretty much the same, apart from 4 different weapons that it can use. The first one is obviously the GBU 48, 49, and 50. That would be the paveways that we talked about in the Tornado video, right? A GPS and laser-guided weapon that can actually be used in both ways, you know, and it has basically a dual kind of guidance system here. Of course, it would be way more precise because the FOV of these bombs wouldn't matter too much. You wouldn't need to be as precise as you need as with a GPU 12, for example, the older laser guided paveway bombs, right? So you could just fire in a general direction and the GPS will take care of it until it gets to the FOV and the range of the laser guidance. So way more precise and pretty good. The 48, 49, and 50 depends on the weight and stuff of the bomb, larger, smaller, everything with that, but it's the paveways, right? So the Mark 80 series, but with GPS and laser guidance. Then we have the Sagen's AASM, which is a highly modular French system used in non-guided bombs to make them guided, okay? They include a rocket engine, so it becomes a missile instead of just a guided bomb, GPS and INS guidance systems, and sometimes even laser guidance to make it a very, very smart weapon. Some sources claim that some of them have even 70 kilometers of range, so it will be basically a very, very interesting like missile that it's using Mark 80 bombs to go around and destroy tanks. So it's very, very interesting. And another one would be the BAT bombs, which are very, very small bombs, laser guided. And the objective here is to be used in cities and places with a high collateral damage if missed, right? So it needs to be really precise, and it's just a very, very small bomb, like 30 kilos or something. It's really, really small. So it wouldn't do a lot of damage, but it would be really precise. And if it's precise enough, it can actually hit tanks and small targets and stuff and destroy them. The last difference between the D that we have in the game and the D that we will have with the RMV is the Storm Shadow. If I'm not mistaken, this is also a weapon that this thing can actually use. It's called the Scalp in the French service, but it is the same missile that we talked about in the Tornado. So it's a cruise missile guided by GPS, INS, and final guidance is made by IR. And of course, it is a cruise missile, so 450 kilograms of a warhead, a very big warhead, and 500 kilometers or more, 560, I think, kilometers of range. So very precise, very long range, and it's more of a strategic weapon. I already talked too much about cruise missiles today, but yeah, it's more of a strategic weapon than tactical, but still, it is pretty cool. Everything else will be pretty much the same, okay? So you can expect the same levels of bombs and rockets and everything that the D has, apart from these that we talked about. So, of course, the AS-30L, the GBUs, the normal GBUs, and French guided bombs, and everything that we already have in the Mirage 2000D, but with the addition of these little bombs and stuff, very, very cool, and more modern ones, and maybe the Scalp cruise missile as well. But basically, this is it. How will it be to actually fly the thing? Well, it's gonna be pretty much the same. If added with the Mica, it's gonna be one of the best missiles, like aircraft in the game. But I don't see it coming with the Mica right now. So with the Magic 2, it will be just a modernized Mirage 2000D, right? So it's an aircraft that you should expect to fly the same, have basically pretty much the same capabilities, but just is going to be a little bit more survivable because it will have these extra systems here and there that can actually be used to be safely used from a distance, right? So the GPS guided bombs, for example, will make you be able to fire them from a further distance and just make sure that you are gonna hit the target with the laser designation afterwards, right? The ASM that I talked about is gonna be highly precise and kind of a new guided rocket bomb missile that you can have to actually substitute the AS-30L, for example. So it's just an overall combination of small things, a new pod, new missiles, new bombs, to make it a lot more top tier capable. The interesting part is that the Mirage 2000D is already a very high BR in ground battles. It's at 11.3, right? Which is not top tier, but it is up there. But if added, the 2000D RMV would probably come below the DR1 that we have, and of course be a top tier 12.0 BR in ground matches, of course. In air matches, it probably will be a lower BR, but still, or a different BR at least, right? The BR, it's different, right, in the air stuff, so it might be even higher, 12.7 or something, but it's a different BR, of course. But yeah, guys, basically this is it. Nothing too much to talk about this aircraft, but it is pretty cool, and people were asking me to talk about this, so here it is, the RMV that will probably come into the patch. Maybe not, maybe yes, we need to wait and see. During the week we will have these confirmations. I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, click the like button, and see you guys. Bye.